I woke up, picked up my phone, and noticed that my group chat was buzzing about something. And I looked at it, and it was a photo of my friend, and it looked like she was dead.
Social media has always been a double-edged sword. While it connects people across the world, it also exposes the darkest corners of human obsession. It creates a false sense of closeness, an illusion of connection. But what happens when that illusion shatters? What happens when admiration turns into control, and control turns into pure hatred? This became horrifyingly clear in July 2019, when Bianca Devins, a rising Instagram star, was brutally murdered. It was a murder that played out in real time on social media, with thousands of people becoming unwilling witnesses. And the worst part? Many of them enjoyed it. Police in Utica, New York, discovered 17-year-old Bianca Devins' lifeless body in the backseat of a car. Her throat had been brutally slit, nearly to the point of decapitation. The killer? 21-year-old Brandon Clark, a man who had been obsessed with her for months. Bianca had gained a modest following on Instagram and Discord, where she posted about anime, music, and internet culture. Like many young people today, she used the internet as a way to connect. But unfortunately, social media also made her accessible to the wrong kind of people. Clark was one of them. They had met a few months earlier on Discord, forming what Bianca believed to be a friendship. But Clark had something else in mind. He saw himself as her protector, her closest friend, but most importantly, he saw himself as someone who had the right to control her. On the night of the murder, Bianca and Clark attended a concert in New York. Everything seemed fine until she kissed another guy at the event. That moment shattered Clark's delusion. His obsession turned into rage. Driving Bianca home, he pulled into a dark, secluded street and attacked her, slitting her throat in a frenzied attack, ensuring that she wouldn't survive. But he didn't just kill her, he documented every step of the way. As Bianca lay dying, Clark did something truly horrifying. He started taking pictures. He snapped multiple photos of her lifeless body, her throat slit open, her eyes still wide in shock. Then, he took out his phone and began uploading them to Discord and Instagram. One of his Instagram posts read, "I'm sorry, Bianca." By the time police arrived, he had staged a sick suicide performance next to her body, live-streaming his fake remorse while stabbing himself in the neck. But his injuries were superficial, nothing compared to what he had done to Bianca. He wanted to appear like a victim, but there was no doubt this was cold, calculated murder. But the true horror was how the internet reacted. Instead of the images being removed immediately, they spread like wildfire. Within minutes, thousands of people were sharing, reposting, and commenting on the images. Some were horrified, others were fascinated, but a disturbing number of people were making memes out of her murder. This wasn't just a fringe reaction, entire groups formed around mocking Bianca's death. To make matters worse, some users began sending the graphic images directly to Bianca's family. Her mother, Kim Devins, would open her phone only to see her daughter's mutilated body staring back at her. Strangers from across the world took pleasure in her suffering. They claimed that Bianca was an e-girl who manipulated men, and that Clark was the real victim. But let's be clear, Bianca never led him on. She made it clear they were just friends. He brought a knife and a staged suicide note.
911, what is the emergency?
My name is Brandon. The victim is Bianca Michelle Devins. I'm going to kill myself.
Just stay on the line with me, okay?
No, I'm not going to stay in line with you. I'm going to be dead on the ground.
After Bianca's murder, Instagram was flooded with requests to remove the images. Her family begged for them to be taken down, but the platform did almost nothing. Instead, the pictures kept resurfacing, getting re-uploaded by new users over and over again. Even Instagram's AI couldn't stop them. It took weeks before most of the content was removed, and even today, if you search hard enough, you can still find the original photos. Bianca's family now fights for stricter content moderation laws and protections for victims. But the damage had already been done. Social media turned Bianca's murder into entertainment. A young woman lost her life because someone felt entitled to her. A killer turned her death into a spectacle, and thousands of people helped spread the horror. The scariest part? This isn't the first time, and it won't be the last. Social media continues to create obsessive parasocial relationships, toxic communities, and a lack of accountability. Until something changes, there will always be another Brandon Clark, another Bianca Devins, another tragedy that unfolds right before our eyes.